day and we're listening to this tape. I don't remember what we were listening to. It might have been Derek. And you stopped the tape and you looked at me and you said, Joe, we can't defend ourselves. Out of the blue.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle, yeah. You said, Joe, we can't defend ourselves. And I mean, it was like you hit me with your left hook. I mean, it was like a solid left hook, just clocked it. And I stopped and I said, I looked at you and I said, what? And you said, we can't defend ourselves. I said, what do you mean? I mean, you know, I'm with you, a heavyweight boxing champion who mucked out 4 guys on the street in San Francisco, and even though I was never in the ring, I grew up fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in the neighborhood. I grew up fighting. I fought on the streets.
Yeah.
You know, I fought in the school playgrounds. I was a fighter, even though I'd never been in the ring. But I defended myself. You know, and you're saying we can't defend ourselves.
Can I say something,
And
Joe?
that hit me so hard that it was like it penetrated me. And I mean, I guess I never forgot it because we're talking about it today, and that was 30 years ago. And you say we can't defend ourselves. And that was one of my familiar spirits.
Look how the Lord
was self-defense.
brought all this back to you overnight because of your openness to me.
Yeah.
And your feeling of if I go, your life's over.
Yes.
He brought all this back.
And that's why John chapter 3:21 always meant so much to me, because I was always a hider and a liar. I mean, that was how I grew up. That's how I defended myself. Being a hider and a liar, because you got punished if you did the right thing or you did the wrong thing. So you may as well become a professional liar and a hider. And the thing that you brought to me was you don't get punished for truth. And so John 3:21 took on, I mean, it was like my life raft. And so in talking to you about what I thought, why I thought, how I thought, what I felt, you brought a reasoning to me that nobody else has ever been able to reach in my whole life.
Well, because you were never called to be a servant companion to a prophet. There's a special anointing and a special wisdom when you live in the house of the prophet. The world don't understand it. 3/4 of the church doesn't understand it. They think I was a cult leader if they heard me say this. But there's tremendous benefits living in the house of a prophet. Debbie gets it. Carmi a little more. Jerry a little. Pat's getting her eyes open. Alice couldn't get it. That's why she's gone.
She might though.
So then,
Can I say just one thing, Joe? This is really quick because 2 years ago, a man walked in Gene's office and just started shooting bullets of offenses. I got so defensive. I said, man, this is this religious spirit that I grew up under that just murders people because you have no obligation. I mean, I unloaded the machine guns of truth about dead religion that were all true. I turned into his bodyguard when he wasn't defending himself.
Yeah.
So when that man left, he looks at me and he says, so how did that make you feel?
yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to be. I was trying to be his bodyguard.
Yeah.
And you know, and so the other, you know, so you said we can't defend ourselves, and I was gonna say something else, but I lost my train of thought here.
Let the offended be offended still.
Well, that's why you don't need to.
And gosh, what was that? It was pretty important.
I think you should make some tea.
Okay.
I can't remember it.
About being offended, or the character of Jesus withdrawing unto death.
I'm losing it because of the back and forth.
Yeah.
I wonder if you should just say something
Well, just
Gene, about. Okay.